I got the job at my daughter's school. So school has officially started. Hi everyone, my name is Jackie. Welcome back to the channel. We are enjoying life's journey. And today I thought I would do an update on our budget. Basically, we'll just kind of do a yearly update for what the rest of the year is going to look like. So for those of you who are new, welcome. I do like to share our real household numbers here on the channel. We follow a zero-based budget method, and more recently I started trying to align our budget categories with the 60% solution. So if you want to learn more about that or see how we do it, and maybe it will give you a few ideas for your own budget, then definitely subscribe to the channel and expect more videos. Now that we have a schedule going, I should be posting a little more. I kind of took the summer off because the girls had summer break. It is August 10th, so I've been officially working at the school for about a week and a half. We'll talk a little bit more about what my position is in a minute. So we're going to jump on my yearly tab of the budget. So this is my budget template. You can purchase it on Etsy. The link is down below. You can basically edit the categories on the side here to list whatever it is that you want to put in these categories. The percentages that we're trying to follow with the 60% solution are going to be based on before taxes and deductions, and then our taxes and deductions are part of our monthly committed expenses, which is the 60% part of our 60%. So with the other 40%, you have 4 categories that you're trying to do 10% in each one. So you have retirement, long-term savings and or debt payoff, your short-term savings or like yearly bills, your regular spending, that type of stuff, and then your fun. We are not quite to those percents, and honestly, because I'm working now, we probably won't go up to that percent because it would be a lot of money. We'd rather put more at the debt. So let's take a look and see what's changed for the rest of 2022. So on the yearly tab, you have each month lined up side by side. Once you put your numbers in here from the yearly tab, when you click on your monthly tab, it will auto-populate your budgeted amount here, and then you go on a monthly basis and you budget out every single paycheck. So that's what I have here for August of everything that's going on. Ricky, my husband, he's in construction. He's a pipe fitter. He gets paid every Friday. With my new job at my daughter's school, I will get paid every other week on a Tuesday. So when I'm doing the monthly or my paychecks, what I'm doing is I just line up that Tuesday with that coming Friday. So my very first paycheck will be technically on the 16th of August, but I lined it up with the 19th. So that's what I've kind of done. So let's see what we have. So like I said, school just started. So for me, I originally applied to be the crossing guard, and that's because I'm a stay-at-home mom primarily. For those of you who watch some of my other videos, I've done the Amazon warehouse for peak season. I've done the sort centers. I've done Amazon Flex. I've done DoorDash, those type of things, just trying to like bring in a little bit extra money. So I applied at my daughter's school to do the crossing guard, and then I got that position. And then after being there for 2 days, a school aid position, an OCR monitor, I'll talk about that in a minute here, that opened up. So I went ahead and applied for that. So now I have 2 hours a day as the crossing guard. So I have an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, then I have 5 hours as the school aid. So I'm getting 7 hours total, so pretty much full time with that hour break. So that bumped me up into the benefit category. So we'll talk about that as well. I'm estimating $343.73. I'm getting the hourly amount is $13.18 an hour. So it's not that great, but the job is really simple. So you're not going to be, obviously you're not going to get paid, more than that. But the benefit for me is it's literally like the school is 3 blocks from my house. My daughters can ride their bikes to and from school. I could even ride a bike or walk if I wanted to, so that's going to save on gas. The other thing is time. When I tried working at the warehouses and stuff, I was gone, driving there for 25 minutes, working, and then driving home for 25 minutes. It takes me like 3 minutes to get to the school, so that's definitely a plus. And then the biggest reason I wanted to work at my daughter's school was to be on the same schedule. So I'm not working, after they get off school. When I did the I worked at the YMCA doing the after school program for the kids, so I worked with kids already, but I was there till 6 o'clock at night. So now I'm done at 3:15, just like my kids are. And then also the holidays, right? If they have summer break, I'm off. If they have fall break, spring break, winter break, any breaks they have, any holidays they have, I have off as well. So that was a huge plus for me. So the pay, if I was working at Amazon warehouse, I'd make $15 an hour, so I'm making a little bit less, but the stress, like the stress relief and all of that is well worth it. For those of you who've been following before, my husband makes $30 an hour. He works 40 hours a week, and then they are back to doing 10 hours of overtime. So they're working 10-hour shifts Monday through Friday, and that is at $45 an hour. So you can see how this fluctuates. Our months with the asterisks up here, these show the months that my husband will have an extra paycheck because there's an extra Friday. So you can see what he averages for the months. For August and September, I have him working the 10 hours every single Friday, every single week. They did have a few weeks or a few months where they had one Friday off. So I did budget that with the less amount of overtime for a few months, and we'll see what they end up doing. The next category I have here is just anything that I've made from YouTube. I count that as self-employment, and then basically that money I put 5% aside for like profit sharing, or it's like a profit bonus I pay our personal budget, and then I put 15% aside for taxes, and then I pay our internet and my cell phone. Whatever's left comes over to the personal budget. So this month for August, we're just looking at $90. So far for September, we're just looking at $48. So you can see how the money goes down because I haven't been posting videos. So if I am posting videos again, I should see this number go up a little bit. To be honest with you though, starting next year, I may not post as much because I won't really need to, but I do like to keep you guys informed because hopefully you're learning something from it. The next thing we have is our cash back from our Discover credit card. So we already got that for the month of August. It was $40.19. What I do estimating the months going forward is I take whatever our lowest amount. So February we had $23.07. So I just budget that ahead of time until I know what it is. The next category down for our income is our savings account. So the interest in our savings account at our bank has gone up a little bit, so we are seeing a little bit more in there. But again, I just put what our lowest one was. So May, our lowest one was 122, so I budget the 122. But last month we had 177. So as we're able to put a little bit more into savings, and as that percentage goes up, then that number goes up. So for now, that's what we're doing. For myself, like I said, for August, I'm looking at $343.73. I basically am getting 34 hours a week. So Mondays are short days. So I get 6 hours on Mondays, and then I get 7 hours on the other days. So September, I should have 3 paychecks, and my husband has an extra paycheck. So I'm looking at $2,517.38 for September. Also, again, we have to calculate time off for fall break and stuff like that. So October we'll have fall break, so I'm looking at $1344.36. November we have a $1792.48, and then December again having like the winter break, holidays, stuff like that. So $1344.36. So this is an estimate. I'll know more once I get my actual paycheck. I tried my best to estimate ahead of time. So now our yearly amount with all of our income combined is looking like $90,000, and for next year we're actually looking like $100,000. So we're definitely making big progress. Now we already agreed that everything that I make from self-employment and from my job at the school is going directly to pay the teardrop trailer. So my goal was to have that paid off by the end of the year. So we're still going to be able to do it, and we did add an expense, something that we wanted. So I'll talk about that when we get down to the bottom. First category of spending, if you will, is our retirement category. So we were putting some money into the Roth IRAs. We went ahead and stopped that because, again, I'll talk about the other thing that we're going to be purchasing at the end of the year. But now that I am working at the school and I'm kind of in the full-time category, we automatically have to put the school automatically puts 12.17% into our pension, if you will. It's the Arizona State Retirement Account. I am in the state of Arizona, so I already calculated that. So 12.17% of my paycheck automatically is going into my Arizona State Retirement Account. So $41, and then next month's will be 306, and then 163, 218, and then 163 as well. So that I've already calculated. My husband's 401k with his new employer should start in October. It may start sooner in September, so I do need to double check that. But we're going to be doing 5% of his income. And the reason we're only doing 5% is they get a 4% match if they invest 5% or more. So we're just doing the minimum of the 5% to get that 4% match. And then next year, we will probably put additional money into the Roth IRAs. That way we have access to the money we've put in if we need it for car replacements or something before retirement. So we're looking at about $307 a month for Ricky's regular months, and about $376 for the extra paycheck months once we get into that investing. The next one, like I mentioned, is the long-term savings and or debt payoff. So you can see here for this month, I have $90 for self-employment and then $343. So together, that's $433.79. So we're gonna pay that extra on the teardrop. You can see these are payments I've already made extra on the teardrop. So steadily, consistently making extra payments on there. But now I'm like, I wanna crank this thing out and I want it paid off by the end of the year. So when I got the job at the school to do the crossing guard and I found out it was only 2 hours a day, I was kind of hoping it would be more like 4 hours a day. So I was kind of like, I want more hours. So that's why I went ahead and said, let me do the school aid as well. So this is going to allow us to pay that off. I'll talk about what my job is at the end of the video. But so $433 for this month. Next month, you can see I'm making $2,517, but we're actually going to be able to do more than what I'm making because Ricky has the extra paycheck. So we're going to do $2,850 next month towards extra payment on the teardrop. And then you can see here what I've made. The $1,344 will go. Now, if I do end up having YouTube income on that month, then that would be added into that extra payment. You can see here I have $1,792. Now you can see it's a little less on this particular one, and that's just because we do have some other expenses that will end up kind of offsetting that. But this extra amount will definitely make up for the little bit less amount on that month. And then you can see here the $1,344. Again, I'm actually going to be able to do more because Ricky will have the extra paychecks. We'll do $1,834. So this amount, these right here, should pay off the teardrop trailer. So fingers crossed we can actually stick to what we say we're gonna do. But sometimes, you know, when you make more money, you have that lifestyle creep, which you guys are gonna see down below in a minute here. So now we're to the biggest category of our budget, which is the 60% of our income, which is going to committed monthly expenses. Some of these are going to be necessities. Some of them are not going to be necessities, but they're things that you have committed to paying every single month. So you can see here, our first thing right here are our taxes. So we have federal tax because we are in the United States of America. We have Arizona state tax because we're in Arizona. We have Medicare and Social Security taxes. We have life insurance, additional life insurance through my husband's employer over what his employer has. I also will now have life insurance through my employer. And then we have health insurance. We're doing it through my husband's employer just because it actually was cheaper than if I tried doing it through the school. But I did go ahead and sign up for just employee health insurance because it was free on a monthly basis. So that should offset if I have any doctor visits. I can try to submit both insurances and hopefully I pay less out of pocket. We'll see how that works. And then moving forward next year, what we'll probably do is switch Ricky's, instead of having a family health insurance, we'll probably switch it so he's just the employee and the dependents, like the children, and then I would have mine through the school because I pay zero. So there are some things that will be changing once the new enrollment goes for health insurance, so maybe we'll be lowering this. Ricky's long-term disability, I talked to you guys this before, that doesn't start till next year, and I didn't end up going and getting any additional coverage. We've thought about it, we haven't done it yet. shame on us. We need to do it. But with my employer, they do have the option of short-term disability, so I did go ahead and sign up through for that. So that will be about it's about $6, $5 or $6 a paycheck. So I do need to add that on here, but I was waiting for this first paycheck to see what it's actually going to be, and then I can adjust that on the future months here. But basically, our health insurance is $87.66 a week, or a paycheck for my husband, and then the extra life insurance is $5.02 a week, or a paycheck through my husband's paychecks. And then you can see we just have we've estimated taxes based on percentages. So we've from what we've seen before. So we'll kind of adjust these as we have the actual numbers. So that's something you guys need to take a look at. Look at your pay stubs, see, you know, how much is actually coming out for those things. And if you do have two people working, you know, compare your plans and see which one is going to be cheaper, more beneficial for your family. So then our biggest expense is our mortgage. So our mortgage is about $1,350 or something like that. And then we have our property tax and our homeowner's insurance. So total it is $1,435.96. So you'll see that across the board. Next year, I have a feeling it will go up because our insurance premium for the year did go up slightly. So usually they adjust that on a yearly basis. So I think this will probably go up maybe $6 next year. We'll see. Then budgeting for food, we're trying to do $110 a week. You can see last month we spent quite a bit. We spent closer, I want to say closer to like $140 a week, and that's, again, the girls were not in school. So the school was doing free breakfast and lunch. They're no longer doing free lunches. So they still have free breakfast, but not free lunches. So this will most likely be adjusted because now I'm buying the stuff to make the lunches, because it's still cheaper than buying the school lunches. So we're at $464 for this month, and then $550 for the extra paychecks, and $440. Again, this is probably going to be adjusted. Now our electric, I do my best to try to average out like what did we spend for the year, and I try to put that across the board. So originally I had like $60 a month budgeted on every month, but you can see I adjust it based on what our electric actually was. So last month it was 103, so I'm budgeting 105 this month. It should start to cool up a little bit, so I budgeted 100 and then 50 for the winter months. Again, this gets changed once I know the actual amounts. Our solar, this helps offset the cost of electricity for us, is $81 a month. Water, sewer, trash, so we had that little pool in our backyard for the summer, so we were using more water because it kept getting holes. We kept patching the holes and kept leaking. So our water now has been like $85 a month. So I budgeted $85 for the next 2 months. And then I went and I budgeted the $75 is usually more of where we're at. But I don't remember. I think they said they calculate it on a yearly basis. So we might be stuck doing that $85 till next April. I don't know. We'll find out. The cell phone, so my husband and my daughter's cell phone together is $60. Mine is $30, and that's again paid with YouTube income. And then our internet is $102.20, and I pay that with my YouTube income. If I don't make enough on YouTube, then it has to come out of the personal budget. So far, I've made enough on there where I don't have to do that. But next year, I think I'm going to put those expenses just back in our regular budget, so I don't even have to rely on any of the YouTube income for those things. But they still are considered tax write-offs because they're for the job duties related to creating content and doing like DoorDash and all that stuff. Our Netflix is $16.93. So we have that going. For those of you who follow my budget videos, you have an idea of what my color coding means. Black means the money is gone, it's spent, or that was the actual amount. Orange means the money is still in the bank. And then blue means it was saved or invested. So we have some money for next month's bills, for September's bills, are already in savings because we've already had our first paycheck of August. So that's basically, these are bills related to the household. Then I have this next section, which are bills related to vehicles. So I have our insurance. This month we do have to pay the yearly insurance for the motorcycle. So instead of the $223, it's going to be the $293 because it's $70 a year for that. And then it will go back down to the $223. Gas, we're budgeting $100 a week for gas. Last month we actually spent less than $100, but we're still going to keep it at $100. The prices are going down slightly. And again, like I said, now I'm not delivering for Amazon Flex, I'm not delivering for DoorDash, so I'm not doing a ton of driving, and I'm not driving to the Amazon warehouse. I'm like right here. So I've only been filling up my tank like once a month, which is great. So we're gonna do that again. You'll see 500 and 400 depending on whether we have 5 paychecks or 5 Fridays or 4 Fridays. And then my husband's truck payment is $591.97. You'll see we did not make a payment last month. When we first purchased the car, the way I was paying, we ended up being a whole month ahead. So I went ahead and got us back on track. So we readjusted it. So our actual due date is the 21st, and I had it on the 1st of the month. So I went ahead and switched it back. So the automatic withdrawal on the bank account was on the 21st of the month. So you can see we have that money in savings already. Now the teardrop monthly payment is $117.18. Again, we hope that we'll have that paid off by next year, so this payment will be gone next year. The next category is, so I had my laser hair. I went ahead, I think I had 2 more months to pay on it. I went ahead and just paid it off the other month, so I have no more laser hair payments. I still have treatments until October. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's been a waste of time and a waste of money for 2 of my areas. My armpits are great, hair free. The other 2 areas, my lower legs and my Brazilian, it's been a waste. So I might even, I might try to get some of my money back. I don't know. I'm really disappointed with the way it came out. So I would not recommend the Simplicity laser. That's who I was going through. I wouldn't recommend them. It's been these last few treatments, I've been really upset that there's been no progress. But anyways, so the next ones are for kids. So my kids did soccer earlier in the season, then they did dance class over the summer break, and now my older daughter just tried out for the softball team, so she made the softball team. Now that she's in 6th grade, she can actually be on the school team instead of us doing a different league. So that was $60 that I have to pay for this month, because tryouts were yesterday. So I don't have anything planned for the rest of the year as far as chore money and stuff. They still have chores that they have to do that they don't get paid for. So those are the only ones I'm making them do right now. And then when next year comes, we'll add in, have them start doing their paid chores again, because I definitely want to encourage my children to start saving up. My oldest daughter will be 12, and we're encouraging her to start saving for her first car, and then we're gonna match up to a certain dollar amount of what she saves. So if she saves like $500, we'll match 500. If she saves 3,000, we'll match 3,000. I think that's gonna be our cap. So she'll have, depending on what she makes doing chore money, and then maybe the next year she can, babysit, or you start making a little bit of money that way. So then our next category is our short-term savings, yearly bills, irregular spending. So for us, we have our household maintenance projects, we have our registration for all the vehicles, and we have personal care or giving, pet care, those type of things. So obviously the spending that's been happening throughout the year. And then we have about $700 we are budgeting every single month, because we are going to be adding a rooftop tent to our teardrop trailer, and we want to have that by the end of the year. So I basically took how much that was going to be, divided it by the 6 months. We've already have the money from last month. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we already put the money aside. So this should actually be blue, because part of this was savings, right? So we're putting this into savings, and then we can go ahead and buy that. So this was the added expense that Ricky and I really wanted to get this year. And we've already paid all of our registration for the vehicles this year. And then for personal care, household, or personal care, pet care, we're just doing like $100 a month. And then we'll do $400 for Christmas. And then this month we have $186, just because we did have a little extra spending of things that we already knew we needed to get. Then moving down is the fun category. So we have eating out, events. So you can see we spent a good amount last month because summer break. And then we have we call this alcohol drinks for the house, or dinners, whatever, date night type stuff. And then I actually, Ricky is no longer buying his NOS, he switched back to coffee. So I put the money we would have budgeted for his NOS into my category, and I started buying my green Bolthouse Farm daily green drinks again. So some of this money will either come up into my category, or I will put it in savings for him to spend on whatever. So for right now, I left it $11 a week is what he was spending on that energy drink. So I still left that budgeted for him for the rest of the year. So we do have a camping trip planned for Labor Day weekend. So I have $96 out of this month because I already reserved our spot. We're gonna be camping for 4 nights. So I already reserved that, and then we'll have the rest of the money. We might actually add on here, because Ricky and I were talking about renting a pontoon boat for one of the days that we're going to be at the lake. So we're probably going to adjust this. And then we have some money going into vacation savings right here, because we are going to be flying my mom out here from Michigan to Arizona May of next year. So we've already reserved a cabin up in Sedona, and I'm going to be purchasing her flight tickets in the next couple months here. So we want to start putting that money aside for when she comes. So originally we were going to try to go back to Michigan, but it was going to just be too much money to fly all 4 of us, and we want to do Airbnb and all that over there. So instead I was like, Mom, let's fly you out this way, and then we can actually go do something, and we'll have a little more money to spend that way. So that's the plan for that. And we do have another camping trip in November with my dad and stuff for Thanksgiving weekend. So we have those planned out for the year. So that's like the new budget of where everything's going. A lot going on, right? But that's what you do. You adjust and you update as things change. Again, for the yearly or for the monthly budget, we've already done the first paycheck, and then we have the next paychecks budgeted out. So the only thing that might change on here is my paycheck once I have a better idea of how many hours I actually got paid for. And then the taxes, you know, what comes out for taxes and deductions and all of that. So we'll have to feel that out. So if you definitely want me to bring back the weekly budget videos, whether it's the monthly budget or the weekly paycheck budgets, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below saying yes, bring those back. So real quick before I let you guys go, what am I doing at the school? So I'm doing the crossing guard. So I do an hour in the morning. I clock out, I come home, I'm actually on this little hour break, I have to go back to the school, and then I clock in again as the school aide. So for the school aide, I'm actually in charge of the OCR. I'm actually the OCR, which basically means on-campus reassignment room. So if you want to think of it as the in school, during school detention, right? So I got to deal with kids who maybe aren't doing so well. So they're in the process of clearing out a room for me, and I will be sharing the room with, I think we have 2 behavioral specialists, so they'll be the ones who go out and handle any issues immediately. And then if the teachers, we're no longer, you know, schools in our area are no longer doing like after school detention, it would be in school. So the teacher will assign them something that they need to work on, and then they'll come into my room and I will monitor them in there. In the meantime, what I've been doing is helping out in the cafeteria and on the playgrounds and the front office. So I've just kind of been everywhere, and I'm actually loving it, because originally I thought, well, maybe I'll just apply, you know, to do the front office, but now I actually like being involved. I'm on my feet, I'm up and about, I'm all over the school all day, which I like, and I'm interacting with all the kids, and I get to see my kids on their lunch break, which is kind of cool. So far, they like me being there. We'll see how long it takes until they don't want me there anymore, but I'm gonna take it while they want me there. So far it's going good. But yeah, so thank you for watching this updated video for the new yearly budget with my new income. I was thinking of sharing next year's budget with you, but I don't want to make the video too long. So we'll do that in another video when we get ready to share, when we get closer to 2023. But as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for you guys who have been around for a very long time, who continue to support the channel and who keep coming back. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. And if you haven't already, you can still pick up a budget template. They are, the link is down below. They're on Etsy. So see you soon. Bye.